What's up, you guys? My name is Brad. Welcome back to my channel. Before we get this video started, I just want you to take a second and notice how you feel. Has it been difficult concentrating lately? Have you been having a hard time focusing on a single task? Do you feel like your mind is just scattered? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are likely experiencing brain fog. In this video, I'm going to cover what exactly brain fog is, my personal experience with it, and offer solutions on how to overcome it to optimize your brain. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, it's an absolute pleasure having you. Thank you for visiting. I created this channel to just disperse information that I think is valuable. I recently had an experience with brain fog that has been really enlightening, but before we get into it, I just want to talk about the background and what exactly brain fog is. So what is brain fog, and how do you even know if you've been experiencing it? Brain fog is a cognitive dysfunction involving memory problems, lack of mental clarity, poor concentration, and the inability to focus. You see, here's the thing. Our brain is bombarded with information every single waking second of the day. The visual system is constantly processing our surroundings. The auditory system is stimulated by all the many sounds that compose our environment. We're also taking in all the smells that surround us at any given moment. And to top it off, we're constantly feeling the clothes on our skin. There's an enormous amount of data that gets processed in our brain. You see, our brain has filters, and these filters do a great job at filtering out most of the information. This is known as selective filtering. In fact, if our brains didn't do this, we would be overloaded with information and not be able to function at all. Our brain's filters are phenomenal, however, sometimes they can be working against you, especially when it comes to brain fog. Before we get into the solutions, I just want to share my personal experience with brain fog. Recently, I've had such a challenging time focusing on tasks that I needed to complete. I felt like my mind was so scattered and my thoughts were just bouncing all over the place. I was not able to think clearly, and it felt like my own brain was working against me. So it really hit me the other day. The night before, I wrote down 3 tasks that I needed to complete the next day. When I woke up, I knew that these 3 tasks needed to be completed. However, for some reason, I just started to feel so overwhelmed. This isn't usually like me. As soon as I woke up, my thoughts were all over the place. I was not even able to focus my attention or think clearly. This is when I realized, man, something is just not right. I ended up just taking that whole day off and spending time reflecting. I wanted to get down to the root of the problem and what was causing it. I was able to pinpoint the problem, and you guessed it, it's brain fog. Now, this is a prime example of brain fog. Not being able to focus, having scattered thoughts, your attention span is all over the place, your mind is bouncing. As I said in the beginning of the video, our brain is constantly taking in information, and sometimes taking in too much information can simply cause an overload. I realized that I was personally consuming way too much information mindlessly. For instance, watching a YouTube video to learn something can be extremely beneficial. But when you end up going down the rabbit hole on YouTube and spending 3 hours watching random videos, your brain can just get overloaded, and this leads to brain fog. Now, having brain fog is extremely common, especially in our culture. There is nothing wrong with using social media, but as soon as you start mindlessly scrolling, you just take in way too much information and your brain can just simply become overloaded. Man, I myself am so guilty of this. The thing was, I didn't even realize I was doing it, and I also didn't even realize that it was causing these problems. I never knew that scrolling on social media in between tasks or just random times throughout the day could cause brain fog. So if anything I'm saying is resonating with you, then you may be experiencing brain fog yourself. I want to cover some solutions and, more importantly, how to prevent this from happening. The very first thing you should do if you feel like your mind is cloudy and you're experiencing brain fog is to organize your thoughts. There are so many different ways to help organize your thoughts. My favorite way is to brain dump. A brain dump is getting yourself into a quiet environment and just writing out everything that you think. Every thought that comes up, you write it out on paper. I did this the other day and I realized how scattered my thoughts actually were. It actually alarmed me. You see, we're never taught to practice silence. We live in a world of constant stimulation. Go, 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 go. Consume, consume, consume. We know that after a physical workout, we need to rest our body, but we're never really taught that we need to rest our mind. Now, there are other ways to organize your thoughts, such as journaling. I found journaling to be really helpful for me. You can also meditate. Meditation didn't really work at first for me. I kind of had to get my thoughts out onto the paper, and then I could spend some time in meditation. Another great way is to walk in nature and connect with nature. You can kind of organize your thoughts as you're walking or going for a hike or maybe even swimming. Connecting to nature is a great way to help organize your thoughts. I would recommend just experiencing and see which one works best for you. Now, once you organize your thoughts, the single best thing you can do is practice prevention. We want to practice preventing our brains from becoming overloaded with information. Taking the space to rest and practice silence is extremely overlooked. Stillness and being quiet can really help reset your brain pretty quickly. For me, I spent about 24 hours just organizing my thoughts on paper and then spending time doing nothing. I made it a priority to consume absolutely nothing. No social media, no music, no YouTube, no podcast, nothing. I kind of fasted from information. And after that 24 hours, boom, I felt great. I would also practice prevention by setting a limit on how much you use social media and when you use it. For instance, every time you refresh on social media, it's like a constant dopamine hit. So maybe limiting to only using it for 30 minutes a day in the afternoon or whatever works best for you. Just be mindful on how you use social media. Have you guys ever found yourself just picking up your phone and scrolling? If you have, drop a comment below. Man, social media is just a huge source of brain fog, and it's so easy to just get caught up in scrolling. This has to be said, but also not properly taking care of yourself can be another big source of brain fog. Sometimes clearing your brain fog can be as simple as getting enough sleep. Sleeping 8, 9, even 10 hours is key. Try it out and see if your brain fog is reduced. If your health is not in the best condition, you may need to focus some attention there. Exercising and clean eating habits can also help significantly reduce your brain fog. We should be exercising every single day in some form or another, and also fueling our body and our mind with the proper nutrition. Unfortunately, resting may seem unproductive, and our society looks down on being unproductive. However, I can assure you that resting can bring some more clarity and some more peace into your life. Guys, I really hope this video helped you. I didn't even know brain fog was a thing until my mind just kind of stopped working and I had to figure out what was going on. Chances are you've probably experienced brain fog at one point or another, especially with the culture we live in and the constant stimulation and information coming in. So I really hope you got some value out of this video. If you did, please do me a favor and hit that like button. It really helps me to reach more people. And if you enjoyed my content, come join the community. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I'll see you next time.